You'll never believe this. French employees literally tell their bosses absolutely not to their face, walk out at 5 p.m. sharp, and take 2-hour lunch breaks. Yet they never get fired. In fact, they're more productive than most American workers. Today, I'm revealing the 6 insider secrets of European workplace culture that even HR departments won't tell you. The last one? It's so powerful that companies are actually scared to admit it exists. Breaking the myth. Most people think saying no to your boss equals career suicide, right? But here's what's crazy. In France, it's actually considered professional to push back. Think of it like this. Imagine your workplace is like a well-oiled machine. In America, we think being a yes person keeps the machine running smoothly. But the French? They figured out that saying no is actually the oil that prevents the machine from breaking down. And here's the kicker. French workers are 30% more productive per hour than their American counterparts. So clearly they're doing something right that we're completely missing. Secret number 1, the sacred boundary system. The first game-changing secret is what I call the sacred boundary system. Picture this. You're in a Parisian office at 6 p.m. The boss walks over with a quick project that'll take 3 hours. In America, we'd probably say sure, no problem, and stay until 9 p.m. But a French employee? They'll look at their watch and say, I'm sorry, but my workday ends at 5:30. I can tackle this first thing tomorrow morning. And here's what blows my mind. The boss just accepts it. No drama, no angry emails, no performance review threats. Why does this work? It's like having a fence around your house. The fence isn't there to be mean to your neighbors. It's there to show where your property ends and theirs begins. French workers have built invisible time fences around their personal lives, and their employers actually respect these boundaries because they're legally required to. Secret number 2, the droit de retrait, the legal right to say no. This brings us to secret number 2, and this one's going to shock you. French workers have something called droit de retrait, which literally translates to the right to withdraw. Imagine if you had a superhero power that let you say no to any request that wasn't in your job description, and your boss couldn't touch you for it. That's essentially what this is. Let me paint you a picture. Sarah works in marketing at a French company. Her boss asks her to clean the office kitchen because the cleaning lady called in sick. In most countries, you'd probably just do it to avoid conflict. But Sarah can legally say, I'm sorry, but kitchen cleaning isn't in my job contract. I'll be happy to continue with my marketing projects. And the boss can't do anything about it. It's like having legal armor protecting your job description. But here's what's really brilliant about this system. It doesn't make French workers lazy or uncooperative. Instead, it forces companies to be crystal clear about roles and responsibilities from day one. It's like having a GPS for your career. Everyone knows exactly where they're supposed to go. Secret number 3, the 35-hour workweek mentality. Now, the third secret might sound impossible to Americans, but stay with me. The French have mastered what I call laser-focused productivity. Think about your smartphone battery. When it's at 100%, you might leave apps running in the background, keep the brightness high, maybe stream some videos. But when it hits 20%, suddenly you're in ultra-power saving mode, closing apps, dimming the screen, only using what's absolutely essential. That's exactly how the French approach work. With only 35 hours per week, they can't afford to waste time on meaningless meetings, endless email chains, or office small talk. Every hour has to count. I talked to a French project manager named Antoine, and he told me something fascinating. In America, I see people arrive at 8 a.m. and leave at 7 p.m., but they spend 3 hours on social media, 2 hours in pointless meetings, and an hour gossiping by the coffee machine. We work 35 hours, but we actually work for 35 hours. It's like the difference between a marathon runner and a sprinter. The marathon runner paces themselves over 26 miles, but the sprinter gives 100% intensity for 100 meters. French workers are professional sprinters. Secret number 4, the pause déjeuner. Power move. Here comes secret number 4, and this one's my personal favorite, the legendary French lunch break. Now you might think, 2 hours for lunch, that's just being lazy. But here's what's actually happening. It's like hitting the reset button on your brain's computer. Picture your mind like a smartphone that's been running apps all morning. By noon, it's getting sluggish, the battery's draining, and apps are starting to crash. The American approach? We just keep pushing through, maybe grab a protein bar at our desk, and wonder why we're burned out by 3 p.m. The French approach? They completely shut down and restart. They go to an actual restaurant, eat real food, maybe take a walk, have a conversation about something other than work. When they come back, it's like they've got a fresh phone with 100% battery. There's actual neuroscience behind this. Dr. Marcus Rachel discovered that our brains have something called the default mode network. It's like screensaver mode for your brain. When you're not actively focused on tasks, this network activates and actually helps consolidate memories and spark creativity. So while Americans are grinding through lunch at their desks, French workers are literally upgrading their brain's operating system. Secret number 5. The Union Shield Strategy. Secret number 5 is probably the most misunderstood one in American culture. The French have turned labor unions into their personal career bodyguards. Now, before you roll your eyes, hear me out. Imagine if you had a big brother who happened to be a lawyer, and anytime someone tried to mess with you, your big brother would step in and handle it. That's essentially what French unions do for workers. Let me tell you about Marie, a graphic designer in Lyon. Her company tried to make her work weekends without overtime pay. In America, she'd probably either comply or start job hunting. But Marie? She just called her union representative. Within 48 hours, the company not only apologized, but also paid her retroactive overtime for the past 6 months. It's like having a professional negotiator on speed dial. The company knows that if they mess with one employee, they're actually taking on an entire organization with decades of legal experience. But here's the brilliant part. This system actually benefits companies too. Instead of dealing with individual complaints and potential lawsuits, they have one unified system for handling workplace issues. It's like having a universal translator for employee-employer communication. Secret number 6, the right to disconnect revolution. And now, the secret that even HR departments are afraid to talk about. The legal right to completely ignore work after hours. This is going to sound like science fiction to American workers, but in France, it's literally illegal for your boss to expect you to answer emails, take calls, or think about work outside of office hours. They call it droit à la déconnexion, the right to disconnect. Imagine this scenario. It's 9 p.m. on a Sunday. You're watching Netflix with your family, and your phone buzzes with an urgent email from your boss. In America, you'd probably check it, maybe even respond, because you're worried about looking uncommitted. But if you're a French worker, you can literally delete that email without reading it, and your boss cannot legally hold it against you. It's like having a force field around your personal time that your job cannot penetrate. But here's what's really genius about this law. It doesn't just protect workers, it actually forces companies to become more efficient. When managers know they can't reach their team after hours, they suddenly become amazing at planning and prioritization during business hours. It's like magic. I spoke with a French software developer named Julian, and he told me, "When I worked for an American company remotely, I got Slack messages at midnight. My French friends thought I was crazy for responding. Now I work for a French company, And my American colleagues think I'm lazy for not checking emails on weekends. But guess what? I'm more productive than ever, and I actually enjoy my job. The hidden psychology behind it all now, you might be wondering. How do French companies survive with all these worker protections? Shouldn't their economy be crashing? Here's the psychological secret sauce that nobody talks about. When people feel secure and respected at work, they actually give more, not less. It's like the difference between a scared dog and a confident dog. The scared dog might obey commands, but it's always looking for an escape route. The confident dog is loyal, protective, and actually wants to please. French workers aren't trying to escape their jobs, they're investing in them. When you know you can't be fired for ridiculous reasons, when you know your personal time is protected, when you know you have support if things go wrong, you stop operating from fear and start operating from creativity and genuine commitment. It's like the difference between a tenant and a homeowner. A tenant might follow the rules, but they're not going to invest in improvements. A homeowner? They'll paint the walls, fix the leaky faucet, and plant a garden because they feel ownership. The productivity paradox revealed. And here's the final mind bender. Despite working fewer hours, taking longer lunches, and saying no more often, French workers consistently rank among the most productive in the world. The World Economic Forum found that French workers produce $68 of value per hour worked, compared to $63 for American workers. How is this possible? It's like comparing a race car to a pickup truck. The pickup truck might run longer, carry more stuff, and work in all weather conditions. But when it comes to pure performance per unit of energy, the race car wins every time. French workers have optimized their work like a Formula One team optimizes a race car. Every component serves a specific purpose. There's no wasted energy, and when it's time to perform, they perform at maximum efficiency. So what can you do with this information? Obviously, you can't just walk into your American office tomorrow and demand French-style benefits. But you can start implementing the mindset shifts that make these systems work. First, start setting micro-boundaries. Don't answer that email at 10 p.m. Take your lunch break away from your desk, even if it's just 30 minutes. Practice saying, "Let me check my calendar and get back to you," instead of immediately saying yes to every request. Second, document everything. French workers succeed partly because their job descriptions and responsibilities are crystal clear. Start keeping track of what you actually do versus what you're officially supposed to do. Third, invest in your own productivity systems. If you only have limited time and energy, make every hour count. Use the French mindset. Work intensely during work hours, then completely disconnect. Here's what really gets me excited about sharing this. These aren't just work strategies, they're life strategies. The French have figured out something that we're still struggling with, the difference between being busy and being productive, between working hard and working smart. Imagine going to work every day knowing that your boundaries will be respected, that your job is secure, that you can speak up without fear, and that your personal time is truly yours. That's not just a better work life, that's a better life. The next time someone tells you that work-life balance is impossible, or that saying no to your boss is career suicide, remember the French. Remember that there's a whole country of people who've proven that you can be successful professionally while still being human personally. And who knows? Maybe someday American companies will realize that happy, secure, well-rested employees are actually their greatest competitive advantage. Until then, we can at least learn from those who've already figured it out. If this opened your eyes to a completely different way of thinking about work, share it with someone who needs to hear this message, because everyone deserves to know that there's a better way to work and live.